Hello and welcome to Adrienne Ross Squared, squaring off from A to Z. And we're going to stop right there at A today. We're going to be talking about something I found out about when a friend sent me a direct message on Instagram. The A stands for abortion. In particular, Abortion Provider Appreciation Day. Who knew there was such a thing? I remember when they used to say, keep abortion, what was it, safe, rare, and legal? I don't believe in abortion at all, but at least they used to pretend that they wanted it to be rare. Now, whole different story. You see things out there like shout your abortion and all this other stuff. And there is, I found out, Abortion Provider Appreciation Day, which was a couple days ago. If you're watching this on Wednesday, the 12th, it was March 10th. That is National Day of Appreciation for abortion providers. And apparently it started in 1996. Let me go over to the website dedicated to this celebration. So you see it there. Abortion Care Network is the website. Abortion Provider Appreciation Day 2025. Celebrate abortion providers. And it tells us that on March 10th, 1993, Dr. David Gunn was murdered by a white supremacist anti-abortion extremist. As a way to honor the life and work of Dr. Gunn and all of the courageous, compassionate people who provide abortion care, March 10th became the National Day of Appreciation for abortion providers beginning in 1996. Every year, people everywhere, not here anyway, every year, people everywhere hashtag celebrate abortion providers with love notes, treats, art, acts of support, donations, messages of affirmation, a love fest on social media, and more. Join us in showing gratitude and support for abortion care providers everywhere all year long. Not going to happen. So celebrate abortion providers, and it has right here where you can click here. I haven't clicked here, but you can click to share a love note for abortion care providers. Show your appreciation by donating to independent clinics. And you got some activities, and they have it in Spanish and Espanol. And you can see some of these graphics they have. Abortion providers are there for every phase of our lives. Abortion providers light up our world. Celebrate abortion providers. And you can see it's in different languages, etc. You get the idea. This is where we are. Abortion provider appreciation. Stuff like this just renders me speechless. Almost, not really speechless because I'm speaking, but you get my point. I just, like I said, there used to be a time when people said this should be rare. I say not at all, but now it's a whole big celebration. And now, as you know, politicians run on that platform. Former Vice President Kamala Harris ran for president. And what did she push? What they call reproductive rights. And the people of the country said, no, not really interested in trying to push ending the life of my child, killing my child. I'd much rather have a president who can enact policies and work toward creating a society where my child can actually live and prosper. The message my friend sent me in my DM was about Ben and Jerry's, the ice cream business. The ice cream business, you may know, is woke, meaning Ben and Jerry's ice cream is woke. And Ben and Jerry's decided to jump into this abortion provider celebration, and my friend had sent me that. So I'm going to share with you what Ben and Jerry's did, and then I'm going to share a few comments that I just happened to see when I was getting ready to start this video. I saw some of the comments. So I'm going to go to Instagram. I'm going to show you what Ben and Jerry's posted, and I'm going to really get into the heart of what I'm talking about today as it pertains to abortion and a particular demographic. You might already know where I'm going with this. This is posted, you can see over here, Ben & Jerry's and Abortion Care Network. And it says, Ben & Jerry's posted today, and that was a couple days ago, today is National Abortion Provider Appreciation Day, exclamation mark. We stand with abortion providers today and every day. Learn more and take action at the link in our bio. Hashtag National Abortion Provider Appreciation Day. So here's the graphic. There are a few slides. I'm not going to go through, I don't think I'm going to go through, I may go through all of them. Anyway, abortion care providers are being threatened across the country. Here are 5 reasons why we need to stand with them every day. If you go over here, it starts going through the reasons about Roe v. Wade being overturned, etc. But I really want to get to this third one. You can look at this. I'll put the link in the video description. This is the one I want to look at. This is the one that I've been dealing with for years. Communities of color are being hit disproportionately hard. Laws criminalizing abortion providers make it harder to access reproductive care, especially for Black communities and other communities of color. Because of systemic racism, people of color experience greater maternal health risks and are more likely to seek an abortion. Threatening people of color's right to reproductive care is white supremacy in action. So now maybe I understand why they use the white supremacist term in reference to the doctor who sadly lost his life. Of course, there are lots of babies losing their lives, and that is just as sad, and more so because they're innocent and they cannot speak for themselves. So here's the thing that gets done repeatedly. Black people are pushed toward abortion, and they use that Black people are, this is so hard for Black people if you get rid of Roe v. Wade. If you don't have abortion clinics, you're hurting Black people. They won't be able to kill their kids. And that's what we want from them. And I'm sorry if this is harsh, and I'm not passing judgment on anyone who's watching this who's had an abortion. I believe that when we come to God, he forgives us. He washes us from it. And that's a beautiful thing. So if you have been in that situation, I'm not throwing stones at you at all, but I got to call it as it is. And we live in a society where they use this toward Black people and other quote unquote minorities. And it's like, can you believe what the Republicans are doing for you, or doing to you, I should say? Because actually right here, they talk about that. Let me go over here. Did I already see it? Let me make sure, because it says something specifically about the right. Oh, it's right here. Duh. It's right here in front of me. Some of the right are trying to silence providers and close clinics. Right. Okay. So they're making it a political issue, and this really should not be a political issue. This should be an issue of humanity. So let's go back to Planned Parenthood, the #1 abortion provider, which our government gives money to. Okay. Margaret Sanger started Planned Parenthood. I'm not going to get into a whole long thing about this. I've talked about this numerous times on the Adrienne Ross Show before I rebranded it to Sports and Culture. I spent years talking about this, writing about this. So Margaret Sanger's desire was to put these clinics in. Notice that most Planned Parenthood facilities are in Black, Hispanic neighborhoods, people of color, if you will. That was by design. She considered people who look like me to be human weeds. She considered the handicapped, if you will, human weeds. She was a eugenicist. Okay? Get rid of them. And that's why it blows my mind that people, many of them Black, support Planned Parenthood all out, vote for people who push abortion all out. They don't even seem to care that it was about saying, hey, you're not fit to walk the earth. So let's figure out a way to get rid of you. And so we show up in your communities. I'm here to help you kill your children. Abortion should not be pushed on any human being, period. It disproportionately affects Black people and people of color. And so whereas Ben and Jerry's says communities of color are being hit disproportionately hard, I would say, yeah, communities of color are being hit disproportionately hard by people like you who are pushing abortion on these communities. So we're going to take a look at some of the statistics concerning Black people, Hispanic people, and the number of abortions, or the percentage of abortions, however you want to look at it, the huge amount of abortions taking place within the Black community, while pretending here that anyone who doesn't want to push abortions on these communities are white supremacists, and pretending that it's actually helping Black people. So we're helping you by telling you to go ahead and kill your baby. See, that's the easy route. The more difficult route, which is the route we should take, particularly people of faith, is that you walk alongside people who find themselves in less than ideal circumstances. You don't say, yeah, that's right, let's get in your community because we're helping you out by having you kill your kids. And it's wrong when people try to support you instead of encouraging you to keep your children. This is the society that we are living in, and we're pushing back on that. So if you just want to go the easy route, right? You can just go type into Google abortion statistics by race. Okay, we'll start right there. And it'll tell you that AI overview. That's the only time I've ever used AI, because it pops up on Google. In the United States, abortion rates are disproportionately higher among Black women compared to white women, with Black women experiencing a significantly higher abortion rate and ratio. And this is interesting, of course, because Black women don't make up the largest percentage of our population, and yet the percentage of abortions is through the roof. So it says abortion rates and ratios. Black women have the highest abortion rate, 28.6 abortions per 1,000 women aged 15 to 44, and abortion ratio, 498 abortions per 1,000 live births. Wow. Non-Hispanic white women, however, have the lowest abortion rate, 6.4 abortions per 1,000 women aged 15 to 44, and ratio 116 abortions per 1,000 live births. Now let's look at Hispanic women. Have an abortion rate that falls between that of Black and white women at 12.3 abortions per 1,000 women aged 15 through 44. Okay, and so Black women down here accounted for the largest share of abortions at 38.4% in 2019. And again, this is wild when you consider that Black women are the minority, and yet the largest share of abortions. This is wild. And this is what Margaret Sanger would be happy about, those human weeds. And from research that I've done years ago, more Black people die from abortion than heart disease, cancer, murders, natural car accidents, all these things. It names all, diabetes, all of it. More Black people die from abortion than in those things combined. And that if we continue, learned this years ago, if we continue on this rate, we would wipe ourselves out. But of course, that's the plan. And Ben and Jerry's says that you're doing us a favor by helping us kill our kids. If you're going to do me a favor and say, lead me to where I can get support to raise my children. Remember the old saying, with friends like these, you don't need enemies? I think this might be similar to what Google told us. Let me go up here. So this is Pew Research Center, and this is from March 25th, 2024. So almost a year ago, what the data says about abortion in the United States. I'm going to go down here to the purple, and let's see what it says. Let me go up here. In the District of Columbia, New York City, but not the rest of New York, and the 31 states that reported racial and ethnic data on abortion to the CDC, 42% of all women who had abortions in 2021 were non-Hispanic Black, while 30% were non-Hispanic white, 22% were Hispanic, and 6% were other races. And so it says, looking at abortion rates among those aged 15 to 44, this is, like I said, similar to what we saw, but we're talking here specifically about 2021, I think I just said. Yeah, so, and it gives that age group 28.6 abortions per 1,000 non-Hispanic Black women in 2021, 12.3 abortions per 1,000 Hispanic women, 6.4 per 1,000 non-Hispanic white, 9.2 abortions per 1,000 women of other races. So now we're over here at the CDC, and this is abortion surveillance in the United States in 2022, which came out in November of 24, so a few months ago. So let's go down to the purple here. And it says, among the 32 areas that reported race by ethnicity data for 2022, non-Hispanic white women and non-Hispanic Black women accounted for the highest percentage of all abortions, 31.9% and 39.5% respectively. Again, excuse me, that's non-Hispanic white and non-Hispanic Black. And Hispanic women and non-Hispanic women in the other race category accounted for lower percentages, 21.2% and 7.3% respectively. So white women had the lowest abortion rate, 5.7 abortions per 1,000 women aged 15 to 44, and ratio, 106 abortions per 1,000 live births. And Black women had the highest abortion rate, 24.4 abortions per 1,000 women aged 15 to 44, and ratio, 429 abortions per 1,000 births. I'm not going to go into all of this, but if you scroll down here, you're going to find that there's a table here that gives the number, rate, and ratio of reported abortions by reporting area of occurrence and number of abortions obtained by out-of-area residents. And it'll break it down by state, how many, again, abortions reported by area of occurrence. And so you have that. And then if you go even further down here, there's the chart. It has the age group. This is not the one I'm looking for. I'm looking for the one that breaks down the racial. I'll put the links there. Okay, here it is. So yeah, table 6, number and percentage of reported abortions by known race and ethnicity and reporting area of occurrence. And so it has the numbers by states, Black, white, other, Hispanic, and then the total abortions reported by known race. And keep in mind, as the research will tell you, there are people who don't report, right? There are states that don't report. There are people who don't, whose information doesn't get out there. So the number is likely higher than we even see. But look here in Florida. So we're talking Black in Florida, 28,192 to white, 21,866. And then other 2,000 something, Hispanic, 24,000. So it's just, wow, look at this. Georgia, 24,104, 6,492 for white. What a difference there. 24, 6, 1 for non-white, and 3,000 something for Hispanic. So you know what? Ben and Jerry's and whoever else can miss me with the this is really helpful to Black people thing if we can just make sure that they can get an abortion, and we're going to appreciate the people who are involved in wiping out this whole group of people and then some. All people, really. I'm not celebrating any of it, for real. I want to go back to Ben and Jerry's post because I happened to see some of the comments there. Hadn't gone looking for them, but as I was preparing to do this video and I pulled it up, I'm like, let me look at the comments. And so I saw a little bit of them, and I'm going to share a few of these with you. And we're back here on number 3. Communities of color are being hit disproportionately hard. Yeah, you said it. So again, about the abortion providers. And let's see, here's a comment. Thank you, Ben and Jerry's, for helping me in my health. Thank you, Ben and Jerry's, for helping me in my healthy eating pursuits without even realizing it. I will no longer be buying your ice cream. Here's another one. You have no moral superiority for supporting abortion. Abortion has not and never will be healthcare. Skip through. Oh, so okay. Here's this one. Lauren, making homemade ice cream forever. Yeah. Excuse me while I go clean out my freezer. Here's what you're saying is that you want there to be fewer babies of color. Maybe skip the eugenics and stick to ice cream, guys. Here's another one. Never eating this brand again. Let's scroll down. Here's this one. So how do peace, love, and ice cream and murdering babies and selling them for parts is fine go together? It seems like a mixed message. Yeah. Okay. And so some other comments about you're supposedly against violence and yet you're pushing abortion. Anyway, we can stop there. I like I said, I didn't even know there was such a thing as, National Appreciate the Abortion Provider Day or whatever. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Again, anybody who's had an abortion, God forgives. When we acknowledge where we are, we acknowledge Christ, we acknowledge life. He steps in, he forgives, and he heals. And I say he heals because research has also shown that the trauma that some people have gone through because of having an abortion is something that they need to be loved through, walk through. Nowadays, though, we've got this culture that's saying, oh, celebrate it. So who knows? But we also have research science says that those who have abortions tend to have other health issues as well that come as a result. So if you really love women, and Ben and Jerry's, since you seem to really love Black women, then let's see how we can walk alongside people. I know many people who have started. I shouldn't say I know many people who have started adoption clinics, but I know people who have started adoption clinic. I know many people who have adopted children, people who volunteer, people who give, people who sit on boards to protect life, to support life. So I've done videos before about the people who are like, oh, those pro-life people, they say they're pro-life, but then they don't want to help. Again, miss me with that. Not true. In fact, it's people who are pro-life that generally are the ones who are helping. So did you know there was such a thing? National Abortion Provider Appreciation Day. Am I the only one who's like late to this? Well, yeah, such a thing. And it's been around since 1996. Much love to all of you. Just calling it what it is. And appreciate your respectful comments. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so. Go check out the main channel as well, the Adrienne Ross Show. All the links are in the description of this video. I hope you have a wonderful day. God bless you abundantly. I'll catch you next time. God bless.